Hi, this is Shane Starr, and this morning I am going to discuss TE and TI, both from the lens of my own personal typing as well as some general thoughts that will hopefully help those of you who watch and are struggling with whether they are a TE or a TI user. This has been a considerable problem for me ever since I started typing, and it still tends to be in terms of looking at the nuances, like for instance, between socionics and MBTI based systems. Even if you think you have your type, it'll be reversed in those two. So, say if you do see yourself as an ISTJ, which I think I predominantly see myself as right now, what does that exactly mean? Does that mean you have TE in your auxiliary or creative function spot? Or does it mean that you lead with TI, as it would mean in the socionics system? I've already examined that problem elsewhere. I might revisit it again, but today I'm just going to look at the functions themselves without specific reference to one type or another. Again, I'm using an article in Practical Typing. I think it's a very underrated website. It's Ryan and Mara. Actually, I should say it the other way around, since Mara's the primary author in this article, at least. And I think they have it right when they describe the differences and nuances of the types. So, 11 differences between TE and TI. Here we go. Number one, basic definition. And I pretty much agree with what they say here. TE users, due to extroverting logic, are primarily concerned with structuring and ordering the world around them in an efficient and logical way. This will include their physical bodies, their living spaces, the people they interact with, their workplace, etc. I think you can see I have everything in its place exactly how and where it's supposed to be. All right, I'm a TE user. I think we're done. Okay, goodbye. No, I'm just teasing. Let's go on a little further. TI users are primarily concerned with structuring and ordering their internal world. This means their thoughts. TI users will dwell on something for long periods of time until they made sense of it. A TI user will struggle to move forward in a project when the piece they're currently working on doesn't quite make sense, or they feel like it might be missing something, even if it's functional enough to move forward with. They won't necessarily be motivated by the desire to just check something off their to-do list, like me. I have my to-do list every single day, even on the weekends. I'm kind of proud of that. Maybe I should be embarrassed of it, though. So I think for myself, at least, from this basic definition, I am TEAF, as basically, which means I'm as TE as you could be. I think all of us use both, of course, but TE extreme. Okay, number two, leadership. Now, they'll say here TE dominants tend to be natural managers, you know, the bossy stereotype. It's because TE users will feel the need to take charge, you know, and in order to force the environment or situation to go the way they think it needs to go. Now, I was about to say this needs to be looked at in context, because if you're a high TE user, not necessarily TE lead, but maybe in creative role, they'll tend to be a little bit less forceful in that way, or more reluctant. And then as I look back at the article, they mention this, so I didn't really need to say that because Mara and Ryan said it for me. I did want to say that as far as leadership goes, though, I think this can be tricky because TE in anywhere besides the lead function will be a little bit less forceful. And TI can, in certain contexts, be forceful. Think of a lead TI father, barking orders at you to give him the right tool to help him fix the car. I mean, that's perfectly reasonable and common, I think. And so you could have a bossy TI type in the right context. But in general, TI users won't have an interest in controlling others, and they may be leadership avoidant, as this article says. It's funny that I tried to, and sometimes successfully, well, maybe not as much as I thought I was, but I tried to convince myself I was more of a TI user, and I've described myself as a more internally thinking focused person, and with a style of leadership more laid back. And then some people who watched some of my early videos reminded me that when I was a teacher, I was very heavy on the rules. Even as my personal life might have been a mess, I still had assigned seating without exception. Everyone had to write and turn in their papers a certain way with their numbers on it. There was to be no eating in class. I even followed my own rule and went outside to eat when I had to. No gum chewing. Just very rigorous. And in my mind, it was like these rules are all here so that we can play as much as we want within those boundaries. Sort of like a kid in a sandbox. We need that sandbox. You have to stay inside of it. But once you do that, you can be creative and do whatever you want inside the lines. And I thought that was very freedom loving and everything goes. And now that I have more knowledge and have the input of other people, I see that I was more structured and rigorous in that way than probably anyone else. So, oh well. Better to learn late than never who you really are, right? Okay, so number 3, when they're accidentally mean, TE users are blunt and harsh. TI users are sharp. Maybe I'm guilty of just conflating these two when they really do mean something different. But point 3 in the article, I think both types can be sharp and both types can be blunt, and definitely both types can be harsh. I don't think we would use meanness as a coin to determine whether you're a TE or TI user. I think there's too much overlap here. So I'm going to move on to something more, and that's number 4, emotions in the negative. Okay, so number 4, emotions in the negative. TE mentality, emotions are for the weak. It's not uncommon for a TE user to display frustration or anger when their attempts to control their external environment are thwarted. Fair enough, but I would say ESTPs are TI users and watch their anger when their attempt to control their external environment is thwarted. I think that can go either way, so I'm going to go past number 4 as well. I don't think you can type yourself as a TE or TI user according to that. Number 5, emotions in the positive. This moves into empathy and sympathy, and I dealt with that with FE and FI. I don't think we can type ourselves with that either. But now we come to point 6, 7, and 8, and I think these are golden, and 9 as well. So let's start with number 6, organization. TE users will naturally be more organized. They'll prefer things to be put away a specific way, a house or room to be a specific or certain standard of clean. TI users are more likely to be unbothered by a disorganized environment. Bam. TE 100% me, I'm done. But maybe you're not. So if someone has to match things a certain way. Someone has to have all their office space a certain way. They're probably a TE user. I had some brilliant Einstein level genius people I worked with at Yale, and their desks were cluttery mess. These were INTP types, probably a couple of ISTPs, but mostly INTPs. Brilliant people, but physically slobs, basically mess, clutter, and it didn't matter. Their thoughts up here were just on point. I can't operate that way. I need a nice, clean environment without clutter in order for me to operate at my best efficiently. Number 7, discipline. TE users tend to be very disciplined in their efforts to achieve something. They'll be more disciplined in their daily life, whether it's a diet or routine or a workout regimen. Again, that's me completely. TI users, it says, will probably struggle more with discipline. They'll have more on and off times, hot and cold. I don't relate to this. I haven't missed a workout, literally have not missed a workout in over 2 years now. Every day. Doesn't matter if I'm feeling good, bad, happy, sad, healthy, feeling a little sick or under the weather. I'm working out. It's getting done one way or another. That's the discipline. That's TE, I think. Number 8, approach to life. TE users are primarily concerned with achieving the end goal. They're less likely to worry about enjoying the moment, and they're going to be more focused on the desired end or result. TI users, it's not about the end goal. They're going to probably be, they will be a P type. They're going to be more concerned with enjoying the process. Again, for me, point 6, organization, point 7, discipline, point 8, approach to life. I'm so over the top TE that I will never identify as a TI user predominantly again. You have my promise, my word on that. Like, it's right here. And even if I wasn't going to take this as the Bible of typology, it's clear enough that whoever they are in my functional stack, for me, it's TE over TI. Physical appearance. TE users are controlling their external environment. This includes their physical bodies. They'll be more rigid, controlled, intense. Again, I think that's me, but I think TI users, ESTPs in particular, can be intense as well. But see, TI users have this more like cool, laid back, kick back like this. No, dude, that's not me. And if that's not you, you're probably TE over TI. There's nothing kick back, chill about me at all. If anything, I'm too uptight, too just impatient. I need to get things done, work before play. That's all TE. Number 10, speech. I think TE users, like the article says here, their speech is more black and white. Even if they change their minds in the moment, they'll be black and white. Whereas TI users use qualifiers like probably, maybe, possibly, usually, frequently. I would give a point here for TI for me. I think I'm not afraid of the gray area. However, it's not enough to stem the flood of TE evidence. So still TE, but for speech, if you use more qualifiers, you're probably more of a TI user. Number 11, facts. TE, the facts are the facts. TI, the facts are subject to change. My favorite expression, maybe of all of them, is the facts don't care about our feelings. And I use that against myself as well. I think TIs are a little more nuanced on the facts. And I think, truthfully, there are some facts that can be challenged, but some can't be. When I think of unalterable facts, I think of, people arguing with me about diet or something. And it's like the scale is right there. The numbers don't lie. this is proof that something needs to change or be done here. Or on the other hand, this is proof that what I'm doing works. And that's the kind of facts I'm talking about, not necessarily debating scientific facts. Now, they have one last little point here, and they say that people who relate to half and half, TI and TE, if this is you, and I don't have any proof of this, but I think it's a great point. They say that if you relate to half TE and half TI, you're probably a feeler over a thinker. And I need to explore that a little further, but that sounds about right, because you would have neither one high. I would say in general, if you're more concerned about truth and pragmatism, that would make you more of a thinker than a feeler. However, if you're making these decisions based on feelings rather than thinking, as to which one of these you are, then that tells you whatever one you have more, you're probably having a feeling function higher than those. Okay, that's it. That's all I have. This article helps me cement myself as a TE user over and above a TI user. But I want to close by saying we all use all 8 functions. That's the beauty of the socionic system and the more advanced MBTI systems, is that they incorporate all 8 functions, because you can't exist in the real world without having both TE and TI. Anyway, that's it. Have a good one. Peace out.